Chrono Odyssey is one of the few upcoming MMOs left that players are potentially interested in. As of the last couple weeks, they have completely overhauled their website. They're under the cacaogames.com URL. Yes, this is being published by Cacao. I know that is gonna deter some people from playing it. I totally understand. I'm not a big fan of Cacao either. They ruined Elion, they ruined Arcade, they ruined Black Desert, all very pay to win. Now, if this is your first time here, consider subscribing to the channel, hitting that little bell notification. That way you remain up to date with every single thing that I post, and I post every week. Do not miss out. There's a lot more information available on their website now. You can wishlist the game. There was a letter from the producer that went on to state that they are still very much working on the game, that a number of different people test the game last year. Apparently, the majority of them thought that the game was pretty well done, which is good to hear. They are, however, approaching a secondary test phase. I don't know when this is going to happen. I am curious. I want to personally get in because I know that this is a Korean MMO, and Korean MMOs are notorious for being absolutely beautiful games, but fairly empty, fairly dead, desolate, void of content otherwise. They're grindy. They don't really have much in terms of a story. They are typically very predatory, very pay to win, and technically this game might be able to distance itself from those aspects that typically populate Korean games, but at the same time, this is developed by NPixel, who are the people that developed GRAN SAGA, the mobile MMO, or cross-platform MMO, rather. I don't know how pay to win or predatory that game is. I never played it. This game does look absolutely beautiful, however, and I mean, it makes sense. Once again, this is not a Chinese MMO. It's not a Japanese MMO or a Western MMO. It is a Korean one. And if there's one thing Korean MMOs do right, it is the incredible graphics. It is the incredible characters. Right? Elion was a horrible game, but it looked good and the characters looked great. Black Desert is a beautiful game, great looking characters. Estelia, great looking game, great looking characters. They'll have the singular same issue though, which I've already discussed, so I'm not going to bother going into further detail with regards to that. We do not have a definitive release date yet, just 2025. The Xbox store page is now open, so you can navigate on over to the Xbox or the Microsoft website and wishlist the game now. They've been a little more active on Twitter recently. This is probably due to the fact that we are approaching another test phase. Backtracking just a minute, NPixel, the developer of both Chrono Odyssey and GRAN SAGA, are simultaneously publishing both Chrono Odyssey and GRAN SAGA, or not, they're not publishing it. Cacao is publishing Chrono Odyssey. I'm not actually sure who's publishing GRAN SAGA. They might be self-publishing. Either way, GRAN SAGA and Chrono Odyssey are developed by the same studio. They are both also launching globally in the very near future. Chrono Odyssey is coming in 2025. GRAN SAGA has technically 3 months left of 2024 to release. They have been very active on their Twitter recently as well. However, I do not see anything pertaining specifically to a release date at present. I know that they do have on their official website now, they have a global English website open and available. You can go ahead there and peruse the various different weapons, each weapon. So GRAN SAGA is a very unique game. It's like, it's an MMO gacha to an extent. It's not the same as like Tower of Fantasy, but it is kind of similar in so that you do have a certain character that you play. You have a certain cast of characters that populate your party, your team, your group, and then you can roll for certain weapons, and those weapons function as completely alternate characters that accompany you in battle. So to an extent, it does share similarities to Tower of Fantasy, but it's not exactly the same. Therefore, it is technically a gacha MMO, and those are becoming more common recently with the success of gacha games in general, whether we like it or not. GRAN SAGA, once again, does not have a confirmed release date. I was expecting 2024, but given we don't have a beta yet, we are approaching a beta, however, I would probably say 2025. It will be interesting though, a very big year for NPixel, I think, because they're gonna have both GRAN SAGA, which earned over $100 million in Korea the month it launched, and has continued to be an overwhelming success for the studio, and Chrono Odyssey, both releasing simultaneously, or not, well, like, you know, in the same year, so maybe even close to one another. One, of course, is a PC console MMO, Chrono Odyssey. The other is a PC mobile MMO, GRAN SAGA. Now, before we talk about any additional games, let me take a moment here to thank my incredible patrons over on Patreon who allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. You guys are phenomenal, and I can't thank you all enough for the support. Now let's keep talking. Another MMO that I'm very eagerly anticipating is Soulframe. They just released a trailer at Gamescom 2024. I watched the entire thing. It is, my God, I'm actually genuinely impressed by what I saw. For a Western MMO, I think this might be one of the better looking ones coming out, if not the best looking one coming out. This game, the combat looks great, the scenery and the aesthetics, the graphics look great, the animations look great. I mean, like, what do I expect coming from the Warframe devs? Either way, I was genuinely impressed by what I saw. I wish I had more information. I wish I had the opportunity to play the game. I mean, who doesn't? This could be one of the biggest, if not the biggest, MMO release of its respective year, and they have come an enormous way since their first announcement trailer, since their first gameplay trailer. I can't wait to see where this game goes over the course of the next year. I don't know, if it releases in 2025, then I think this will probably be a relative success. If they push it back another year, continue to polish everything and perfect every aspect of the game, it might do even better. But it already looks, and what seems to be plays, incredibly well, and has excited like the entire Warframe community already, and many MMO players. And finally, the Lord of the Rings MMO, the new Lord of the Rings MMO, not Lord of the Rings Online, the one from like the 90s or early 2000s now. The new Lord of the Rings MMO that was scrapped once before and has been re-announced by Amazon Game Studio, held an interview with IGN at Gamescom 2024 where they essentially stated they don't really know what they're doing with the game. Yes, it's been like a year since they re-announced it, but even over the course of the first game's announcement, then subsequent failure, shutdown, and then the second game's announcement, they have absolutely no idea what they want to do with the game. They stated, we're still trying to find the hook, trying to find that idea of what it is, because we just don't want to go and do the same thing over and over. While it's tempting sometimes with an existing IP, that's not the point of doing it. You've got to find a fresh twist, and we're still, I think, in that period where we really want to find out what could be the hook, what could be the thing, which is different to all the other games out there. So it's a little bit early, which is interesting because they want to make this game, the Lord of the Rings, a new Lord of the Rings MMO, an MMO unlike any other. They want to do things very differently. They want to make it an MMO that stands out from everything else. I don't know what that'll look like, but I am very excited to see what comes of it nonetheless. The Amazon Game Studios have repeatedly proven that they are a very that they have some very talented people that work there that aren't necessarily the ones in charge of the direction of the game specifically. Either way, they stated that the game, or at least the full reveal of the game, is not too far away. Yeah, they don't know what to do with the game, but it's the full reveal of it's coming soon. Oh boy. Now, if none of this is of any interest to you, absolutely no problem. I got you covered. 2 different videos on screen right now. Might be more up your alley.